Deep within the shadowed corners of our world, whispers tell of creatures lost to science, yet alive in legend. These are the cryptids, beings whose existence remains unproven by conventional science, yet persist in folklore, eyewitness accounts, and tantalizing clues. From the colossal ape-like figure of Bigfoot, said to roam the vast wilderness of North America, to the elusive aquatic enigma of the Loch Ness Monster, lurking in the deep, cold waters of Scotland. The study of these hidden animals is called cryptozoology. It's a field that explores the intersection of myth, science, and the unexplained. While often dismissed as mere fantasy, cryptids spark our imagination and remind us that the natural world still holds profound secrets. What other wonders or terrors might be waiting to be discovered? Join us as we continue to explore the mysteries of the cryptid world.
Welcome, Patriots, to the Magic Carpet Ride. You know, for centuries, humans have been obsessed with creatures that science says shouldn't exist. I know sure have spent most of my childhood fantasizing about horrible things that I was hoping to see one day. Giant apes in the Pacific Northwest, massive serpents in the depths of the ocean, hairy, upright, walking things stalking the woods at night. They call it cryptozoology, the study of hidden animals. And it's fascinated kings, scientists, explorers, and regular people across every culture on the face of the earth. From the ancient Greeks writing about sea monsters to Native American legends of Sasquatch to Victorian adventurers chasing the Loch Ness Monster, there's something primal in all of us that refuses to believe that we've discovered everything that there is to discover. Even in the age of satellites and Google Earth, people still go into the wilderness hoping to catch a glimpse of something extraordinary. Why are so many people drawn to this? Why do millions of otherwise rational people spend their time chasing what the mainstream science calls unproven, or even worse, fairy tales? Is it because deep down we know the world is still full of mysteries? Or is it because the official story, the one that we've mapped out and cataloged everything there is, feels a little bit untrue, maybe like a lie? That maybe, just maybe, there are things out there that they still don't want us looking at too closely. Maybe. Tonight, we're going to dive into that world. My guest is Troy T. Lillie, a seasoned animal specialist, conservationist, and someone who spent years in the field studying both wildlife and the things that don't quite fit into the textbooks. And I'm really happy to have him on the show. Troy, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. Glad to be here.
Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Actually, awesome. I'm going to bring on my co-host, Aladdin. Welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, everybody? How are you, my friend? Troy, can you hear me?
I don't hear him at all.
Oh, Allah Akbar.
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys. I don't hear him at all. Just you.
We're gonna have to figure out this little problem live on air with you guys, which is perfectly fine. We were having a little bit of an issue figuring this out, but it's okay.
Yeah, but
it's
listen,
not a big deal, and we're actually gonna figure it out here.
I gotta say, since our audience can hear us still here, brother,
I'm gonna go and jump back. I'll jump out and I'll come back and see you guys. You all hang in there.
That sounds great. Sorry about that mistake, guys. We had a little bit of issue tonight with Streamlabs, so we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, no. It's not an issue with Streamlab. Think about our guest tonight and everything you just said in that monologue. The spirits are like, hey, I don't want you to
I'm telling you, it is weird, right? There's definitely a ghost in the machine. There is.
Creepy.
It's the only night tonight that we've had these problems.
Ever.
The only night. That's weird. Can you hear us?
Sure can.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, fantastic. Nobody touch anything. Everybody welcome Troy T. Lillie to the show. Dude, I'm so happy to have you.
Thanks,
I'm
man. I
so
appreciate it.
happy to have you on. It's an absolute pleasure. I don't think that that I've been more excited to bring somebody on to the show, and I'll tell you why.
Well,
Because
thanks.
I don't get to talk about the unknown with anybody. I drive my wife nuts. She's like, I don't care. Welcome to the show, man. Tell
Well,
us a little bit
thank you.
about you.
Well, I mean, I was listening to a little bit of your intro and stuff, and I don't know if you guys have watched Lost Monster Files, but my youngest sister is a cryptozoologist, Brittany. So she's the one that studies all that stuff. We debunk it. So I work with wildlife. So a lot of times we'll get calls and they'll say, "Oh, we have X, Y, and Z, and this is here and there." And well, it's just a bear
Uh,
or it's a dog with mange. Usually a grizzly. A lot of people mistake, especially up there. But I'm not saying that there's nothing out there. Don't get me wrong. But usually the stuff we go to, I think it's what I call a homunculus. And if you get somebody into an area where everybody starts believing the same thing, it becomes an echo chamber, and then there's no reality anymore. It's just like throwing a bunch of rubber balls in a room that are different
correct.
colors, and they all have the same word on it. Really.
Correct. So tell me
I'm
what
sorry. Hang
your
on.
main focus
That
is
was
in
the
conservation.
greatest. I apologize. That was the greatest description. That
It's
ending
true.
was right over my bad. Oh
No,
man,
it's true. I mean, it's true when we do that. I mean, I've seen some things that you're like, "What are you talking about, man?" And you really gotta, as a behaviorist, I work with animals and the behavior side of animals, and so it's really easy to do behaviorism with people. So when you're interviewing somebody, I don't know if you saw, sometimes I would just kind of look off and look around because now the guy's lied like 7 times. Like he's made up so many different things. Like now we're the facts, what's going on. So it's really hard to think about that. Although I think there's a fantasy to wanting to believe that there's stuff there. I mean, I think it's great. I mean,
For those of you, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of actually seeing Troy's house, Troy has like the coolest house
thank
I've
you.
ever seen. I love it.
Thank you.
Like it
Thank
is
you.
the coolest house I've ever seen. I wish I actually was able to get like a clip of that. I was gonna grab like a clip of your pad there, because I know that you have like a
Well, I'll send you
overall.
guys can, all you have to do is if you go to Instagram, you just go to the Winchester Manor. That's my house page. So all it is about the house and what we do at the house and different levels of it. So if you want to see that stuff, that's the easiest place to do it.
So tell
It's
me
got its
about
own page.
the organization that you're working with, Troy.
Which organization is that? There's quite a few.
So I heard
Particularly which one?
I heard about an organization that you're working with that you're offering something very special that I actually got myself today.
Oh, you're talking about the Phoenix Herp Sanctuary. Yes, they're
That
really good
sounds
friends of
very
mine, Russ,
familiar.
Debbie, and Dan. Yes, we were actually out there a couple of weeks ago in Arizona, and it was just absolutely smoking hot. But they did a great job of putting the event on. It was their 25th anniversary. We all got together and decided to come up with a bourbon. And so, we invested and we contacted, and it was because of, you have to remember, I go out and do a lot of work with Ant and Built to Eat, and we went to Nashville, and I ended up in Kid Rock's restaurant, and we were in his private room, and I met this gentleman named Dean, and he was actually one of the main guys or the owners of the Nashville distillery. So we got to talking. I'm like, man, I have some ideas. He's like, bro, I got this. We started talking about it. And it came into, it just, the fortune came true. It just was one of those things that we
I
did.
gotta tell you, you had me at bourbon.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
like as soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, I'm 100% getting one of these.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate it, man. It is pretty
so
dope.
tell everybody how they have to get one of these, Troy. You need to make a donation to this
Yes.
program.
Yeah, so the way you have to do that is this is, obviously alcohol is basically a controlled substance, right? And until we take it over, we have to go back in and there's other things you have to do. But as a donation, you're allowed to distribute as a donation, right? So there'll be a link. I posted a story today on my page that had a link to it. You probably saw the link. And you click that link and you go donate the money, and then they send you the bottle and they ship it out, and those proceeds go to those animals at the Phoenix Herp Sanctuary. So definitely look up the Phoenix Herp Sanctuary online. I can give you all the information information later, and I'll send it all out for you too.
We're
And
going to post this on here for the people watching. We're going
yeah,
live to a bunch of different locations. So I'm actually looking this up right now, and we're going to
yeah,
post it for you here for
yeah.
everybody interested. This is definitely something that people really need to put their minds and their hearts into actually doing something with animal
And getting a little
conservation.
something out of it. Getting a little something
And you
out of
get
it.
a little something out of it. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink it. I'm just telling you.
And I mean, I have one here. A lot of people don't think it's a real thing. They're like, "Oh, that's a AI fake." It's not a fake. This is the actual bottle, and this is the actual label on the back. What we got, everything that's needed. If you can see that, you can kind of read what it
That
says there.
looks
Maybe.
fantastic. Oh, that looks great. That's a great label.
Great looking bottle.
Thank you. Yeah. So I
That's
did
a
all the
great
artwork,
looking
started drawing
bottle.
it. Yeah, you got all this right here, and this is all legit. Everything
The
on here is legit. It's
the
all from the
picture
Motley
does
Crue.
not do it justice.
Yeah, it's listen. They were like, "That's AI. That's not real." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I started seeing messages like that today, and I'm like, "You guys are out of your mind. We just did a live event with it." There's so many people out there trying to put down something that it's ridiculous, man. I mean, sometimes media
I
is an
think that's such a
absolute
unique
joke.
thing to do. And like I said, I was really excited to actually make this donation to a good cause, and I highly
I
encourage
appreciate that.
everybody
Thank
else to
you. I'm
do the
sure they
same.
will be too.
100%. Like I highly encourage everybody. Like you've wasted money on worse shit.
Right. If you read
Donate
this, they
to a
put a
good
lot into
cause.
it, though, man. It's a good bourbon. It's a really good bourbon, and I put up the description of what it is in my exactly how it's made and what it's got. It's 106 proof, so it's
Yeah,
So,
53%.
I'm looking on your
you guys,
page
real
right
quick,
now.
side subject. Have you guys ever seen Tulsa King?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, last season it was all about bourbon. Like I just got this image of you as Stallone, like a spooky Stallone. I love it.
That's
And,
awesome.
you
It
know,
was
like,
about bourbon. I just watched that too, and
yeah.
one of my buddies is in and out there. Clayton Q, the singer Clayton Q. He goes in and out there sometimes. He's actually in Florida tonight, performing down in South Florida.
Nice.
So
Right on, right
yeah.
on.
Yep. So there's a lot going on with him too. But yeah, that's great. We always talk about that. They get in and out there. It's funny. Bourbon's a big thing. And I got to tell you guys, it's not easy to do because
No,
you have
it's
to
not.
send these labels. I had to do all this artwork, all the writing and everything with the assistance of Dean and them from the distillery, but it had to go to the government and they have to approve your label.
Yep.
They're like, and you can't put an American flag on it either. Not allowed to have that anywhere on there.
Really?
No.
So for everybody that's interested, this is it's a unique, it's a 3-grain 106 proof American bourbon. Whoo! I'm gonna tell you what, I can't wait. I mean, I might have to try it honestly because I
You
usually drink
have to.
makers. I usually drink makers. I'm a makers guy, and I'll drink some 46 all day long. But 106 proof bourbon, my God, that sounds amazing.
And it's not bad, man. Like you would think
Tasting
it doesn't.
notes with red apple, plum, honey on the nose. I mean, it sounds like it was mixed by a master blender.
Well, they're a great distillery. I have nothing but good things to say about them. They did the 45-47. If you've ever seen that bourbon, that's their bourbon. They did that too, 45-47.
Nice. Okay, that's
I know they
awesome.
do Big Dog. If you know that bourbon 45-47 that was
Yes,
up.
I have
That's
I
the
have
same.
had
That's that
several a
distillery.
shot of 45, 47.
Well, that's their distillery.
I think
That's
I had
their
about
brand.
45 or 47 of them.
Yep, that's
Right.
them. 45-47 is them, and they did
That's
a great job
awesome.
with that. So I was just thankful to get in with them, and they really know how. They're if you guys don't ever have a chance, or if anyone watching, go out there and check out their distillery. The tours are awesome. I mean, they've got it. It's great, man. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's something that I've always wanted to do is to actually go to the distillery,
Right
actually
on.
go visit makers and do that stuff. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and I really, really want to get the chance to do that. So let me just give this for the people in the chat real quick. So what you're looking for on is the Phoenix Herpetological Society. Okay, so on Instagram.
Sanctuary. Yep.
Excuse me. The
Yeah,
Phoenix
they changed it
Herpetological
recently.
Sanctuary. I just see Phoenix
Correct.
Herpetological on Instagram here. So you're going to want to follow them on Instagram
Mhm.
at Phoenix Herp, and that's on Instagram. And then
Mhm.
on Facebook, it's Phoenix Herpetological, correct? Society.
Right.
And that's going to be.
Did someone just say they thought it was a political? Did I see that pop up to just me? They thought it was a political podcast. Cool.
Yeah.
You're going to
isn't
get
that
some
neat?
haters in there. People don't like me on that side of shit, man.
No,
So
no.
you're probably they're going to not like it, I'm sure.
No,
Hey,
it's,
listen,
it's
we have to-
actually it's
Trust me,
actually
dude.
interesting.
Let me tell you something. I've been through a few of them, and they start bombarding it and calling them
Bro,
names and hating
we're
on
not-
motherfuckers.
I promise you, we're not going to get into it. But if you want to really talk about spooky stuff, we have a freaking a death threat chart that we're counting on each. Okay,
We do. We actually have a death threat counter.
Let's get past it.
I'm in last place with 3. He's got like 13.
Man, I don't, dude, everybody needs a villain, and I'll be that guy. And I get them all the time, and I get it all the time, and I'm always defending, and the aunt and I always get it all the time. Or, there'll be these real far out there nuts with their imaginary friends calling aunt a faggot, and everybody's going to hell, and those are a bunch of faggots. Let me tell you something, man. That is the most disgusting thing to me.
Isn't it, though?
You run around hating on somebody you don't even know because you have an imaginary friend that tells you so. Go fuck
Isn't
yourself.
it, though?
I'm done with it, dude.
I'm glad you
I'm
said
so
that.
fed up with it, man. I'm so fed up with it. I see it all the time. And it's one of those things where it's like, it gets me fired up. It's like you're just running around. Why don't you? Everybody's always crying about the baby, but no one wants to take care of the labor pains, man. Fucking come up with something, man.
I'm so excited.
That was from Ocean's
I mean,
13. That last line was from Ocean's. That was
I've never even seen that movie, Ocean's 13.
That was awesome.
It was. I just, you know what? The Lord has a way of speaking to us, and I'll just leave it at that.
I guess.
So Troy, tell me what's going on in your life immediately. What do you have on the docket, like right now, that you can?
Right now, man, we're working on a couple other shows. With networks, we got some things in the mix. We're working with that, and that's always a hurry up and wait issue. There's a lot of things that come into play, rather become between sponsors or networks selling each other to other networks and back and forth. That always puts a dampener on things.
So
I think
how did you get started with? That's an interesting question, right? Like, how did you get started in doing this?
You talking about in
something that you
TV?
just fell into?
I've
Yeah,
been in
like
entertainment.
TV,
I've been in
consultation?
entertainment. I've been in entertainment my whole life. So
Okay.
I've worked with from medieval times, dinner theater, riding horses and jousting and fighting other knights to getting shot off wagons at the Arabian Nights. I mean, I've done all that stuff.
That's
So I
awesome.
end up doing like news. You end up doing newscast stuff. You end up doing animals have been part of my life my whole life. That's my family. My family has been into that. That's what we grew up. That's just the way it was. It's been like that since I was able to be conscious of what I was doing. So, but when it comes to entertainment, I love music. I'm really big into music. I have a lot of friends in the music industry, like real musicians, and I think that, there's so much to it. And, for a long time of my life, I was in I'm going to leave it at this, a legitimate big motorcycle club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their people were getting married, and somebody was married to their sister from California. And they happened to come to one of our wild weddings, and they were like, we have to do something. So I got into Discovery Channel there with that. And then that was all there. We did all that, and we had a pretty successful big show there. And one of the most dangerous shows they ever filmed, according to them. And then, during the filming, we had some homicides that went down. So it was a big deal, and it was all caught
Holy
on camera.
shit.
Yeah, it was a big
Is
deal.
this like related to like the group being filmed?
Yeah, absolutely. It was all
Wow.
another organization came in, and there were some problems, and next thing you know, you got guns, and you got camera crew freaking out, and it was a big thing. So we go from that, held off on that, then finished that. Series was released, went great. We got caught up into some other stuff, and then I ended up doing like different local, TV. People like, hey, I need this, and then like some of my animals. There's a movie called Hillbilly Elegy. I know a lot of people know that, especially in the conservative.
Yeah, J.D.
When he
Vance's
rolled up,
story.
he found this box turtle on the side of the road, and he picked this little turtle up, and it was all ran over. That was one of my animals. They came to me, and they're like, "Oh, we need this. We're trying to do this." So I would do a lot of in and out stuff like that, and I would work with commercials, at least my animals, and then I start doing big events for large companies, like because I have dangerous wildlife, and so people want that wow factor with the education. So we kind of bring that to them, and
Right.
not something I really talk about a lot. I mean, I touch on my animals as far as like my love for them. I've never really wanted to make them like, look at me, I've got this, and let me tell you what I do, and this is my thing. I don't do that. I mean, I don't want to. Because then people are like, oh, they want to either ruin you, kill your animals, steal from you, or whatever they can. So I try to
Right.
just, yes, I have animals, and people who know me know, and then I'll be doing a show with my lemur sitting on my, hey, yeah, it's my buddy, but they're family to me.
Right.
So
Right.
I make no money off that. I make no money off any of that, off social media. I don't try to make money off social media. I don't really give a fuck about that. So I do a lot of educational work. So the animal thing, and then all of a sudden, COVID comes around. We're supposed to go hunt down this big crocodile in another country. COVID hits. We couldn't do it. So we go through all that. And then they come to us. They go, hey, we got this going with this particular person, which was Ivan Sanderson. In the middle of all that, I guess he had passed away, and then his wife got all of his stuff. Then she had passed away, and then all of it got into some of our producers. Now I have a great production company, Anomaly, which they're responsible for Shark Week and a lot of really cool shows on Discovery Channel. They're really cool
That's
guys.
amazing.
And they called me and my sister and my buddy Justin, and we had already filmed for them. We did a couple different shows for them right before COVID, and it really like put a dampener on stuff. So they're like, we want to do this, and boom, it's just here we are wide open for an entire year. We're just traveling the whole world looking
That's
for
amazing.
monsters, dude. I mean, it was just
It
like
seems
really
almost
cool.
serendipitous, like you were made, like you were meant for this. I mean, you just seem to fall into this.
You know what?
Yeah, I mean, people know, I've been in the industry for 30 years, so they're gonna know who we are, and it's like, let's do this. And I've got a lot of colleagues across the world that that do that and they just call them. Well, what's up?
Troy, I'm sorry, but you have the life that the Tiger King was like what he wanted to get to. He's like, I want something like
Right.
that one day, but he had nothing but Carol Baskin ruin his life. Fuck.
Man, and let me tell you something, man.
I
When you
think
get
he was
into
even
this
trying
stuff,
to have Troy's
No,
style.
listen, that's a sick lifestyle. Like that's literally like sick stuff. Because I'm in I started in the entertainment business as well. So your like your role in that world, I'm usually the guy that is doing the hiring, setting up like production and then that world. But this guy's life, dude, Cabot, I gotta tell you, Chris, this is like the sickest shit. You want to talk about balls of steel? Okay, hey, you can be humble all you want, bro. Man to man, I can say it. Balls of steel. I'm going to jump in the ocean. This you crazy white people. I don't understand that. I just want to jump in the ocean. Here's this animal that ripped me to shreds. I want to be its friend. You crazy?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
well, I think I think to be legit, there's a lot of misunderstandings with wildlife, man. Let's just face it. We're all growing up, and you have all this hatred against things that people are scared of, especially when it comes to animals. And I think that crocodiles are extremely intelligent species. All right, they have a cerebral cortex. All right, so that gives them the ability to reason. They are aware of their existence. That in itself, right there, I think is something that people need to really take into consideration. Yeah, look at all these crocs, aren't they gorgeous? And I have most of those, so it's kind of nice.
First of all,
And I get to work with them
waterfall.
individually, and they're beautiful, intelligent animals. And I try to explain to people, and like young people don't get it because they don't remember Star Trek. But you have to put yourself in a place where human beings would be Captain Kirk and the crocodile would be Spock. They're a logical thinker, and they're going to outlive us. I mean, their evolution is kind of slowed down because they're adapting, and they're just going to keep on going. And dude, they find a way. I mean, they are legit, like
Water puppies.
descendants.
They are the
exactly.
definition of life finds a way.
That's true, and they are amazing. That species is one of my favorite species, and they're amazing, man. And I think crocodiles, just in general, are for animals. Is just they learn their name, they station. They know how to shift. Shifting means like, okay, I'll go in. Okay, we need you guys to go in there, shift up. They'll go into their box and wait. People don't understand
Wow.
that, so they want to
That's
demonize
amazing. I
it.
did not know that. That's
You got to start
incredible.
that from. You got to start that from when they're little, right?
Not necessarily. You can. I like to play with them when they're young and really get them smarter. But remember, they still have like an adolescent mind, so fear takes over. Let's think about behavior. They're babies, so their reaction is to be nervous. I could be picked up by a bird, eaten by something, so thousands and thousands of years of that into their brain is kind of like, let's let them sit. So a lot of times when they're young, you think of the saltwater crocodile, which is the porosus, but you think of the saltwater crocodile, right? They are a big, ferocious animal, but raising them from babies, they're like little chicken shits. So, and in the wild, they'll live in like crayfish holes and catfish holes and stuff as babies and never really, they spend a few years in there hiding because they're scared until they start to feel better. And so what I do is I take little PVC pipes and I'll get them all tucked in and they'll just sit in there. And then they start to understand people. We'll start feeding, my employees will feed and we bring them out. Or we'll get a call and someone will catch, wild alligator, which is on the SNAP program. It's all legit with the Florida Fish and Wildlife. They'll catch the alligator. We don't want to kill this thing. It'll go to one of us, one of our people. And we begin to train it. And we had that recently happen. And I have a bunch of alligators up at the resort, the Gaylord Palms Resort in Orlando. And we do a lot of education out there for people. We kind of try to teach them about wildlife because people are like when it comes to that, and then they end up getting hurt or dead or killed, and where's your sign, dummy, kind of thing from the old days, remember? So we tell them, and you get like people like, ew, that's nasty, that and they say stuff, and inside you're like, I want to rip your head off and shit in your rib cage, right? You just hate them. To think that a human being, a fucking stupid human being, would think like that in front of a bunch of children, you just want to punch them out.
I feel the same way when people don't understand camels. Like when they say that about my animal. It's just like, dude, camels are brilliant. Much
I love
smarter.
camels, to be honest with
They
you,
are
bro.
much
I love
smarter.
like when they get offended,
I
they throw
love
up their
camels.
throat.
Camels are awesome.
Much smarter than horse. It lasts long. He's not dummy. He's good animal.
They are.
They kind
They
of
are.
look
And
weird when they run, though.
what's funny about that is someone will say something dumb and you just have to suck it up. But anyways, we got an alligator in. They called. I'm like, well, we'll just give him a shot. We'll put him there. He just made the mark where he wasn't allowed to be released. He either had to be exterminated, which I'm sorry, folks. When you call in alligators that are sometimes just shifting ponds, you're like, oh, there's an alligator because you're from like Ohio and you move down here and you're scared, right? They
Well,
kill them.
Illinois.
Let's just tell everybody they kill them. So if you
They
want to
do.
come up from up north and you want to come down here and be a sun bunny, you better understand that we got reptiles down here and you were destroying half the land. So you're going to see them, right? But us locals and natives, which I am, we know how to tolerate him. Anyways, we brought him over, and he actually ended up being one of the best alligators there. And he was from the wild. He trained up real well. My employee would have him. He'd call him up. The thing would come sit his head in his lap, and he'd feed him, push him back in the water. Another one come up, and I'm like, this was a wild alligator, man. Like, so you have to understand, that's how I twist it to the people. When you're out there throwing your Wonder Bread in the water, giving all the poor birds angel wing, and they die eventually from it.
Yeah.
And you think it's cute when a baby alligator comes over to you, right? You're feeding it, right? I'll just go like this over a dock, and if an alligator comes up, I know they're being fed. I mean, they learn. So I tell them, you're training the alligator to come to you. It doesn't go, oh, there's a person I want to eat you. They're not going to want to eat a bipedal hominid. They don't profile that. They profile very small animals in the water, fish, whatever, and also raccoons, things on the bank, small
I'm
things
sorry.
they can
What
grab.
did you call me?
A bipedal hominid. We're just a tall. They don't look for that. That's like even if it was a monkey walking by, they're not gonna,
No, I'm with you.
But at the end of the day, dude, people train them to do that. Then they end up giving them a death sentence. So I tell them, you end up turning them into Casper.
And it absolutely is a death sentence. Like they don't rehome them like people think they do.
We try. We do as much as we can. If some of the farms will take them for new breeding blood and they'll turn them into the breeding ponds and lakes, which is great. But no, they don't. And a lot of people want to hate and kill everything. And this, I want to kill. It makes them macho. But if you were to put them in that situation and kick them off the boat, done.
Yeah. So, when you was there like a specific time in your life where you knew that you wanted to do this, or would you say that was mostly just your family and generation?
No, man. I think I was just always attracted to it. I think it's in the DNA, probably. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe, there's a lot of theories to that. So I don't know, man. I've always loved those animals, and I have a plethora of animals. It's not like I just do. I love crocodiles, but I got some really big tortoises too, and they're very majestic, and I really like them. And kangaroos. I have the world's most dangerous bird. I have the cassowary.
Man,
right?
I've always wanted to see one of those up close. Those things look gnarly.
No, she's right out back there, man.
How big are they?
They get about 200, sometimes a little over that pounds, and they stand about 5.5 feet tall.
That's a big bird.
They're like a velociraptor, a legit velociraptor.
Dinosaur.
Amazingly true. Absolutely. So anything
are you
related to that, I'm really into.
That's kind of like where dinosaurs, have their modern lineage.
I really don't know.
It makes a lot of sense.
There's absolutely, there's a lot of, some people don't even believe in dinosaurs. So
forget them idiots. Dinosaur! I love dinosaurs, bro.
Yeah, one of the greatest places. I went out to the Apache Reservation in Arizona.
We have
and you can stand in the T-Rex footprints, and you can walk along that riverbed. And just to stand there, if I'd have thought about it, I would have sent you the pictures of standing in them, and you see the tail drag and these huge piles of shit that are calcified and stuff from prehistoric days, and then
That's
all
crazy.
The little feet, all the little three-toed reptile feet. And if you look at those little feet, if I was to go out and do the casting in the mud when it rains here for the cassowary, when she steps, you'd think it was a dinosaur print. Legit looks like a raptor print, like a velociraptor.
Yeah.
That's
probably one of the most interesting theories that I remembered hearing growing up was when we were first starting to get into that thing where we started to suggest, even through Jurassic Park and Crichton, and that these might be birds. And it always made more sense to me, honestly.
There's a lot of it, and I think there's a lot, you can get into like control, man. And I think there's a lot of control. And just from my side of things with the animal side, what people can do and what they can't do and what it takes. I think there's a lot of cover up stuff, right? Because, there's a lot of people that want to keep control of stuff. And, we can't let too much out because then we can't do this or we can't do that. And just spending a lot of time with different people in different walks of life in different areas of the world, you learn so many different things.
Yeah.
You know, like to me, man, sometimes the peace, like even going down into Belize, or when we were young, we go into Mexico, or up into British Columbia, and even in our own country, Alaska, when they put us up past Anchorage up into Kodiak, and we had to go up into that summit in the middle of nowhere, dude,
That's a wild
it's
state.
unbelievable, man. The sky looks nothing like that anywhere else in the world to me. I
Yeah.
mean, close to it in Arizona, there's some desert areas you get to. It's one of the most beautiful, peaceful things. And the weirdest thing is somebody can be talking 2-3 miles away from you and you can hear it in the desert. It just comes right to you. It's just amazing. But when you're up there and you meet some of the native people, like in Alaska, they're really just wonderful human beings.
Hmm.
British Columbia, Belize, the people in Belize are very wonderful. The original people, not all the Americans and Canadians that are bulldozing everything and wanting to put their, Miami house there. We're not talking about that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, correct.
there's
Yeah.
good
Oh,
people
we're
down
talking
there.
about it.
There's people that work. There's the crocodile research coalition down there with Dr. Marissa Tellez. She takes care of the crocs and tries to educate those people. I mean, there's so much to the life and the value that they have for wildlife versus what we do and how we act. It's really sad, man. Like it's sad. And instead of
Hmm.
educating other countries, like I was talking about with Bruce Calero, they don't educate them. They just say, "Hey, burn this all up and we'll buy your palm oil." Why would you do that?
Right.
Why wouldn't you educate them? Or we have enough money going around, feed them, and then they don't have to kill endangered animals. These people, and they get the shit in the stick. A lot of these people, oh, they're killing the tortoises. Well, they're starving to death.
Yeah.
They're eating. I mean, you know what I mean? We have hillbilly rednecks here that can get a job that'll go out and kill off our local gopher tortoises to eat just because they're fucking lazy.
Hmm.
These people are starving to death. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Exactly. Troy, you've worked all over the world and done things that most people will never get a chance to do, and
Right.
it's an unbelievably blessed life. And being around so many different species of animals and so many experiences, there has to be one that tops above all. Has there ever been an experience that you've had that you would say stood out as just unique above the rest? Not even scary or dangerous, but just unique above everything else.
Animal wise,
Yeah,
oh man,
because you've
I'm
seen
trying to think of
so many
something
different
I've done in the
species
wild
of
that I
everything.
there's some places I still want to go see that I haven't got to yet. I'm trying to think of something that would be uh, where it would catch me. Um, yeah, I've done a lot of species and stuff. I was really, I'm really impressed a lot of times when I see like for example, like in Belize, the harpy eagle. When you see a harpy eagle fly through or something like that, you're like, man, the wow factor of that is just because it's
Mhm.
so massive. Um, Really, for me though, I think one time in my life, I was actually here in Florida and we were just kayaking and these dolphins just came up and they just wanted to play, man. And it was so humbling that to me, like, the people were like, "Can you believe this?" And they'll come up and they'll look at you sideways and they'll kind of
Mhm.
tap on your boat a little bit. You're not supposed to touch them or anything, so you just kind of. I know they want you to, and I know they want you to interact. I've had experience working with dolphins back when I worked for SeaWorld as a young man, but they just they're so like human like, man. It's hard to explain. And so I think that would be one of the moments that really were like, wow, what a beautiful creature to see in the wild and to really see that they're just roaming this ocean,
Ooh,
and then
That
they
does
want to come
sound
up and be your
incredible.
friend.
we got
And
a great
that
question.
brings me to his. Yeah, you have one.
No, it just popped in the chat. What's the closest you've ever come to getting taken out by an animal? I saw that, and that's a total Arab guy question to
Yeah, that
avoid
was
that
going to
right
be
now.
exactly my next question. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you thought, well, this is not going to end well?
Yeah.
Frightening.
I mean, there had to have been a couple.
It's been a very long time. Now that I'm a little more experienced than I was when I was, in my teens or 20s, I think, over time, you learn things and you understand, and I've got a real keen sense of behavior now. So now I don't put myself in those situations, right? Like you're not
That's
gonna,
a pretty
they're very
genuine
rarely
answer.
gonna catch me or one of my real good colleagues like Flavie or any of us that work really tight together, Justin from the show. We're not gonna get put in that situation anymore. But yeah, I remember we were removing, this was probably in the late 90s, early 2000s. We were removing invasive caimans from Florida. And I say removing, I was just keeping them. But they either kill them or whatever. I just keep them alive.
Those are
And
cool.
I remember going through this culprit, and I was going up underneath the bridge, and I had a headlamp on. It was back when we didn't have like the lithium and shit. So we had this stupid motorcycle battery next to us in a pouch connected to a headlamp to keep the light on. And we were in this culprit, like we got our hands, we're going down in there because that's where they are. And I happened to look down, and there was this American crocodile laying in the bottom of the underneath us. And when I say I was probably a foot over top of him in the kayak, I was probably a foot over top of him. He really doesn't. They're not aggressive at all here. I mean, you really have to be a jackass to get hurt by an American crocodile. So being in a tunnel with them is pretty stupid. But I didn't know he was there. So I'm like, hey, I was telling my buddy ahead, I go, there's a crocodile, man. He's like, you sure it's not a gator? I go, I'm fucking goddamn sure it's not fucking. And all of a sudden, dude, whatever happened, it just decided to take off out of there. And it was the water and the pressure in there and getting out, slamming our heads up in there. And I'm like, there could be more, flipping us over in there. We're stuck in this tube, There could be more, you never know why they're laying in there, what's going on, Chances are it was probably a good size. And at the time, it was probably 9 or 10 feet. It wasn't a massive one.
I'm sure you probably sucked the shit out of him, too.
I would have been
gay for 10
we did. I would have been total gay for 10 seconds. Oh, my God.
We've done that. And then one other time, I was down and I was trying to get this. I wanted this pig skull, and I was snorkeling up in the river up here, and I saw this pig body kind of rotting. I'm like, oh, fucking pulled his head off. And this alligator just came up and grabbed the other side of it, man, and just yerked the whole thing out of my hand.
That's mine, bitch.
Yeah, but I don't know where he came from. I was like, what the? I didn't even see that guy, right? Like, there was no way. My friends were like, what the fuck? And we were trying to get back up into the boat. It was a great story. We had a good time. And those are really only 2 times I thought, wow, I could have really been screwed, even though they weren't really trying to hurt me. So it was like, I've never, been anywhere where something has literally tried to come down and brutalize me in the wild. I mean, I've had incidences with macaque monkeys in captive environments where you're like, you could die. I mean,
right.
Their monkeys can be dangerous. Listen, I mean, they're just like us with really bad tempers sometimes, and they don't think the way we do. It's not a consequential thinking. Like, I could go to jail if I chew his neck off. It's like, no, you pissed me off, took my corn, don't bite your neck off.
Yeah.
If they don't know you, if they don't know you.
You ever hear that story of the guy that went to the monkey shelter and he brought a cake for his buddy, the monkey, and not one piece for everybody, and the monkeys got out and killed him?
Oh, yeah. Chewed up his face, chewed off his groin, his fingers. I think he survived, though.
I don't want to survive.
Why?
His face was chewed off. But first of all, chimpanzees they're no joke, man. I'm not going to talk bad about them, but they are no joke. No. And I tell everybody, watch that series, Rise of the Warrior Ape, if you really want to learn about chimps and how they really function. Their intelligence level is to me, it's human-like. Now, my problem, I think, with people is they think they're a lot smarter than animals, and unfortunately, man, I think the opposite.
Built like a brick shithouse.
I think the opposite.
Chimps are built.
But if you look at chimps, if you look at crocs, all these animals, the things in common is, like you said at the beginning, they have a consciousness. They are aware. They understand these things. So, all those chimps did was they got pissed. Like, yo, really? You're not going to share? Okay. It's all it was.
Yeah. We don't like you. You're not part of the troop. So fuck you. And that's exactly how they are. And I think that there's a thing to be said about that. And just spending time around animals like that, man, letting them, you can feel, to me, there's a lot of things called like, energy transfer, and sitting amongst big animals like that. And I have friends that have big cats and things like that. It's overwhelming, dude. And they'll look at you for a very long time. And they're not, a lot of people are like, oh, he'd be wanting to kill you. I don't think so. I think they're just trying to contemplate what's going on. I think they're trying to figure out who you really are, what your motives are, why you're there. And they're sharing energy. And I think a lot of us don't understand how to take animal energy, and it's because we're too busy killing shit and not really caring about anything. Well, now, I'm not saying that I don't eat meat or anything, because I'll eat meat. People go, do you eat alligators? I sure the fuck will eat an alligator. Okay?
Alligators are good.
I just don't eat my alligators, dude.
Right.
But alligator will eat me, so I'm going to eat him. It's real simple.
How many people, though, have pets, and they have that connection with their animal, but they can't get it in their brain that it's the same everywhere?
Yeah, man. Well, here's the thing for you. I think about this, like, and all of my friends are like this. We can watch videos of people getting mutilated and blown to pieces all day long, right? I mean, there's videos from Asia where there's kids running out in the street and getting ran over by trucks. I mean, just flattening them, just turning them into pancakes. Like, wow, that sucks. But when it's an animal, your heart breaks.
Yeah.
That should show you right there that there's something to that. You know what I mean? There's definitely something to that.
Well, it's interesting what you just said because, like, and let me just preface by saying that, like, there should be so much respect for an individual that chooses to care about animal conservation and animals. We are a very hateful and selfish and egotistical race, and we're so incredibly destructive. And that's the one thing that really bothered me living in Florida, because you deal with these situations to where when you have neighborhoods and you have kids and these alligators will come in and these crocs will come in, and you have to call them knowing that they are not going to do anything but euthanize these things. And it's an unfortunate. They do this with the bears, and they try to play off like you can't touch them and they're federally protected, but no, it's just that they get to kill them and not you. And it's an incredible position to be in,
Yeah,
to
we say
be
stuff like that, bro.
so fortunate to be able to have these animals. Because you're in Florida too, and Florida is known for being incredibly irresponsible when it comes to exotic animals. So to have somebody selfless like you that chooses to take these animals in and put your time, effort, money, and care and love and attention into helping them is it's just fantastic. I
I
wish more
try to,
people would do it.
I appreciate that, and dreams are nnightmares. Okay. And also, you also have to think that there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of financial stuff you have to do. And I'll be like, oh, you're out there making money off the backs of those. I'm not a rescue. Okay. I don't take anything I can't take care of. And everything I have, I use for myself, and I take out and do education and liaison with them. I don't try to like save the world and do all that because I can't do it right. I don't have the time. And if I don't have the time, it's not fair. And a lot of times in Florida, you get like hoarders, right?
Right.
So now it's really hard to become, rehabilitator, let's just say.
True.
And and the laws, and yes, I have permits that allow me to have animals that no one's allowed to have.
So have you ever had a situation where you got involved with like a federal agency or law enforcement where they would come and try to push up on you because of the animals that you have?
Never. No, I work really close with the Florida Fish and Wildlife, and if I think if you're like a fly by night and you're doing some dumb shit, which most of the people do, right? You you're never going to win against the government, so you have to learn to either work with them and have a good understanding of each other and respect. And believe me, that goes a long way.
Sure.
And there's a bunch of FWC officers that I'm actually really good friends with, and they'll call me if something's like they need help or they want to do an event, and they'll come to me and they want to. And that's critical because relationships are important, right? So if I'm out there smuggling and not doing things right and killing animals and selling illegally and catching stuff, I mean and then they complain when they get caught.
Right.
It's like, oh, but they're making it hard. Yes, it's not. I always try to tell people it's not the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission officers that are out there doing stuff. It's whatever's happening above them that they have to enforce. Right. So
Right.
it's tough on some of them because idiots cause problems that cause new laws to come into effect.
Right.
Like when all of a sudden, like, no one can have iguanas anymore and it's okay to shoot them. Some old guy's shooting a 22 off his pool and he shoots a 10-year-old in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then blame the FWC because they didn't specify you can't shoot your gun towards someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, you're retarded, bro. If you
Yes.
do that, you don't need an agency shouldn't have to tell you that. So I think you have to have some common sense and some dedication. Do I get fed up sometimes where I just want to fucking say I'm done? Of course, a lot, because I want to do a lot of different things and I want to go a lot of different places and I want to see, but I can't always do that because somebody always is here. There's always somebody on property. You don't have a choice.
I was about to say
You can
can't
never
have a
leave the
property
place
like
undone.
that. Yeah.
You can't.
You can't leave
Right.
that place alone ever.
There's always an employee here. A
I'll be
friend of
back
mine will
later.
come. One of my parents will show up. Somebody has to be here in order for me and my girl to travel. And if I can't get it covered, then I can't do it. And that's important to me, because you have to have someone here. It's a big responsibility, and it's life consuming. And I'm
It
all
is.
for
It
people
is
getting into animals,
100%
but you have to
life-consuming.
understand. You have to understand, man.
You couldn't do this unless you absolutely loved what you do. And
100%.
and it's also something I want to point out to the audience too, because there's so many. Everybody's got a damn sob story, and most of our time is consumed on social media these days instead of like network television or whatever. And so you see all of these animal conservationists that are out there for clicks, views, and clout that always have some sob story about that they're coming after me or they're doing whatever. And it's just Troy's telling you right here, if you're doing things the legal and proper way, you should have no issue doing this as long as you're set up properly and you're doing things the legal way. So
And you can't be selfish, my dude. A
Yeah,
lot of these people get into it and they don't have the finances to do it,
correct. They
which
are
is
not
why I
properly
don't take
set
more
up.
than I can chew. I'm pretty much at my limit, right? Where I'm like, yeah, this is pushing. I'm not doing it anymore. So you have to understand now that now you've taken a life into your hands and you're responsible for that life, every bit of its needs. And my animals aren't like just jammed up in little boxes. That's not what happens here. So it's a constant routine. We're going to bring all the baby tortoises in. We're going to bring them all back out during the day because, we have wildlife. We have rats, we have raccoons, or with the lemurs, we have storms. It's too hot. They come in, they got their little apartments. The same way you would put like a little fluff thing together for your dogs. I bring my lemurs in. I have different species of lemurs. I go, come on, guys, it's time to come in. They come in, they go into little AC beds. But you got to be here for that,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Then they go outside. Well, now we got to run fans. Now we got to run swamp coolers. Oh, the wintertime comes. Now we got to run heaters. Now you're paying $1,700 a month electric bills.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go out there and cry, oh, I did this. This is what I'm responsible for, and I'm not biting off more than I can chew. Do I get stressed out sometimes? Yes, I'm a human like anybody here that wants to get into it. But knowing when you want to get into it, it's a big deal. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. It's like having 2-year-old children for the rest of their
For the
life.
rest of your life. Yeah. Yeah. So Troy, how,
So
how
My
big is
friend, I
the
have
property itself?
I mean, there's a couple properties like so. Our family land is really good size. It's about 6-7 acres, and then the property I have here that I live in on thing is a half an acre. So anything that's a baby or we're raising young, I'll bring here and raise it up, whatever I have the room for, and then whatever else will go out. And then some of my animals are actually out on loan to some facilities for their displays. Like I have crocs out and different animals out in different places. Rather it be cyclura iguanas, which are really really cool, or snakes or things like that. But here I just keep a lot of the bigger, snakes and things we use for shows because I don't really want those going anywhere. You don't need them killing anyone.
Right.
Anacondas, things like that. And then you just once your babies get to a certain size, you move them, right? You just move them off the land and you give them the adequate space they need and you go from there. But when you're raising a bunch of little alligators up to 4 feet, they're fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get in the pool with them and I'll throw them in the pool and you can swim around with them and they'll learn you and kind of get to know you because I'm never getting rid of them. They're just going to live with me forever. When I pull them back, they're going to go on the land. They're going to stay in their own thing, so.
Hey, let me
That's
ask you a
awesome.
question. Are you one of those people that if you have friends come by for the first time, are you like one of those pricks that'll take a baby gator and just throw it at them like, hey, catch?
No, and I'll tell you why I won't do that. 2 reasons. One, I don't like to stress animals out for a human at all because
Oh,
humans
yeah.
are kind of, in my opinion, so I really don't.
Way to go
If I have
serious
to,
on the swing there, bro.
you're a real dickhead if you do that to people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like
Hey, no.
if you're that kind of person that's scared to get on a motorcycle and you have to do 100 with them on the back and terrify them, you're just a dipshit, right? You're a dipshit. But you just don't want to stress an animal. I work with people because I know there's a lot of fear in animals.
For sure.
But when you break that, when you give them that contact and you break that fear and you let them in, they're like, oh, this is really cool. And wow, I had no idea. This is so gentle. Wow, how beautiful. Now you've just
Yeah.
changed a life who's going to change another life, who's going to change another life, who's going to change another life.
So that happens
And
a
that's
lot.
really what you have to do.
Like when that's the whole point of like why you go
Well
out and do this
spoken.
education, because once people actually, because everything, like you said, it's what they get afraid of in the movies, Jaws, all that other crap.
Yeah, and sharks are not like that either. It's terrible.
Right. So when you actually get to go out and teach people that, I mean, like, what is it? What does it feel like? What are you seeing in someone's eyes? Like, what's that moment where you see that they got it? Like, oh wow, I've been wrong this whole time. It's like that switch where their lights come on.
Oh man, it's I see that a lot.
Right.
A lot of times it's usually a child and their parents are terrified, so they keep them from it. Like, well, I don't like it, so you can't have it.
Yeah.
And then you see the child, or then the parent will come up and like, he's been really wanting to get this or that. And I said, look, you can start with this. This is a living thing. It has babies. It loves its family. It protects its children. It's just like you. It just doesn't look like you, but we're ugly to it, right?
Mhm.
We're these big, tall, hairless, weird-looking things with noses sticking off our face to them, and they're like, "What is this thing holding me?" So I said, "You gotta put yourself in that place," and you'll begin to see them like they'll be breathing hard and they'll like looking at this animal they're holding, like, "This is really cool," and then the animal will just relax, like, "Oh my god!" Next thing you know, they're coming back.
Mhm.
They'll come back around like an hour later. Can I hold the alligator again? Sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's got to be the
We're going
greatest
to tell
experience.
people, yeah. So we're going to tell people not to feed them in our neighborhood. This is bullshit kind of thing. Then you make these little malicious, and they go out there and they protect them, and that. So I see it a lot, and it's like when you're a kid, and you get that thing for Christmas you always wanted. You're like,
Now, is your facilities with your animals, is that open to the public or is it all
No,
private?
no,
So
it's a
this is just where you
private.
take the animals to,
I take them
rehab
out.
them.
The place that you want to go see, like some of the alligators and the shows, is over at the Gaylord Palms Resort. We do feeding shows there. We do animal interactions every Saturday. So we take a different
Okay.
animal in and interact with the guests. It's part of their thing. They get to stay there. And then we have about 25 to 24 actually gators inside the pool that are, up to 4 or 5 feet long.
That's
And we do a
really
feeding show
awesome.
with them. They swim up. My employee will go out there and he does a really cool show with them and stuff. I'll go in sometimes and do it. But he does such a good job with it. And it's better. And like I said, I don't want to have to leave here and vice versa. So it's really good for that. And then people love that. So if you want to see those animals, that's what we do. We take them out there. As
Oh,
far as my facility, I keep it private for the protection of the animals.
so I got
That's
a
awesome.
question for you, and this might just be my pinky ring talking. If I came down with my girl and I said, "Hey, bro, can I come by and check out your house?" I
Of
mean, I know
course,
you, right?
of course, I'm
Hey,
like, yeah, stop by and see me. Of course, that's different. I just don't do her. I don't do random tours. People I don't understand. People I don't know.
I
It's a
don't
little
mean
bit.
to be disrespectful with this question, but can I bring some of the animals like a shawarma or a falafel, or what's their, or do you feed them? Like I'm just saying. Would you
Well,
like a shawarma?
He wants
I
to
have
bring a
stuff
treat.
that I have stuff you can bring some dates and we'll give the lemur some dates.
I love dates.
Yeah,
They
there you
do
go.
too.
You bring some dates, my friend.
They do too. They like those. So I mean, yeah, you can do that. Or I have stuff on stack. Someone comes by and wants to feed something. We'll do interactions. I do the right interactions. Now, not all my primates like people. You'll
I,
go up there and they're like, "Listen, bitch, you come over here and we're gonna bite your face off." That's just
you
how
ain't
they
telling
are.
me nothing, bro.
That's
I
just
had
No,
that's just the way it is.
my
I'm not
old
gonna argue with
marriage.
you.
This is actually a quick funny story. So just so you know, my background's Middle Eastern, and when I had gotten married, it's my ex-wife. I married her on 9/11. That's not the funny part. The funny part is
my
rented out
God, man.
I rented out Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, and I had a huge animal themed wedding. So I'm really into like I really dig the fact that you treat this as these different animals, these different like clicks, these different lives. I love that stuff.
And it's great for me, man. It's great because you're right. You got. I love
Yeah,
it because, and
I had
doing
camels.
weddings like that, I'd have been the one that would have brought the animals for you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
and I've done stuff like that before, like charity fundraisers where people bring them out here. But at my wedding, not only was it 9/11, I swear to God, they let me use camels. They let us go inside the camel habitat. And my wife, she was white; she didn't know camels, so they're giving her lettuce to feed the camel. She's like, "Oh my God, it's like I'm feeding a person." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I mean, not really, but yeah." But I saw how comfortable she got. Like you say, people respond that way. It was a nice story. I love that stuff.
they do, man. They do. And I have a really good friend. Her name is Lauren, and she actually is on line. She's called the Silky Elephant, and she has an elephant that she was raised with. Her father actually had that elephant before she was even born, and she does
I'm
big
sorry.
events like that. And that is the coolest page. You should check it out. She's one of the coolest ladies.
I'm sorry. You said Silky Elephant. I used to DJ at a strip club called the Pink Monkey.
There you
No.
go, the Silky Elephant.
So
Hey,
Troy,
hey, I
I
love
know
it.
that you have so many things in the works. I know you do. And I was wondering if there's something that you can let us know about, since you have some exciting project that you can divulge a little nugget about without
Absolutely.
divulging too
I'll
much.
divulge some shit for you. So we have this thing coming up because we work in the paranormal. The darkness is my friend. If I didn't have to go out in the sunlight, I never would. I'm completely a vampire.
Can we
But
start talking about that
yeah, we can. So myself, obviously, Cliff, Savagely Loud, the real Huckleberry, Justin Stoll, conservative Ant, Anthony, Bruce, the Hammer, and myself. We're going to do the Misfits of Myth. And we've already got some stuff lined up, and we're
now? I
going to go out and
love
start
it.
doing a lot of this. A lot of people go into like debunking things or whatever. They're trying to ghost bust and they got these little things. But we really want to get into the other side of it. Like, what kind of heinous things happen here to cause this? And is this not what we think it is? Is this more of someone bringing something to life by believing in it? Or is it more of maybe a shed trauma, like a shadow people? Like a lot of people say they always see shadow people. Those are usually shed traumas. Those are entities running around looking for something else to grab onto. So
Correct.
then like my sister gets in, we're going to bring her in from time to time because she does where the time bends where two people see each other and neither of us are dead, we're just on a different spectrum. So
Right.
like there's literature that's and she has a lot of that too, where like even back from way back in the day, the Western days, and where they saw people that weren't supposed to be there and they wrote this down. There's people where they were dressed like this and it's weird. And I think we're just crossing over timelines sometime. I mean, a
Yes.
lot of people disagree with me, and it's fine. But
I've often said it like
because
that too. It's like two wavelengths. It's like two radio stations.
100%. Yeah, man. And there's certain levels, like if you, there's frequencies that your brain will pick up on once you're open to it, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I can
Yeah.
open, and there's ways now. It took me, probably over 20 years to get to the level where I can meditate deep enough that I can get into a different realm. And it was really great because I like to do that, to get over, to kind of see what's going on. And then my sister went into it once with me, and I really knew at that time when she told me, I feel like I'm going to fall. I go, you're not going to fall. It just feels that way. Just hold on.
Yeah.
You'll start to fall forward, and you're in this whole other thing. And she's like, who's walking by? I go, I have no idea who that is. I knew she wasn't bullshitting me, because now we're in a different level. You can achieve that by deep meditation. Sometimes people use mushrooms to do it. Sometimes people use marijuana. There'll be times that
DMT.
it's interesting with DMTs.
Ayahuasca.
That's a whole nother realm, dude.
DMT is basically that chemical that releases in your body where you think you see your family and God. That's just your way, your body dying and making it easy for you to die. But I would never get into that. However, I've been reading a lot now where people use DMT and they've been kicked out of the trip.
I've heard, dude. I just read something about that yesterday, and it's like a thing. Like
It's like they feed it.
It's like they
You can't go back.
neglect
They
it.
will not let you back.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's not like they break rules. It's almost like they go there too much or something.
Yep, and they're like,
they've
you're
been
done. You're not
kicked
welcome.
out.
So it doesn't
It's
matter
like,
how much
what?
DMT. So think
What?
about when they die and that DMT has to drop and then you're not welcome there anymore. What the fuck happens to you then? See, some things we're not supposed to play with. But I will tell you that even certain levels of marijuana, just smoke weed, certain levels of marijuana, you'll get to a level where you'll start to hear things that are like just conversations, right? Like, wow, I'm in a time zone now where there's people from the 1970s in my house, like one time I was by myself and I was going to go to bed. I'm like, hey, I'll smoke a little bit, went upstairs. Wasn't stoned, like way blasted, just nice and high. And I heard, hey, honey, come downstairs for a minute. Not a single person in my house. Right. There was a time I was sitting across from Ant and we were in his house. Not the one he's in now, but previous house. And someone says, Anthony, and there's nobody there. And we're looking around. I'm like, that was crazy. And then we heard all this things shuffling around and stuff. And he goes, oh, Jimmy's home. Jimmy wasn't home. He called. He's like, hey, do you want anything before I leave work? We were like, whoa. So it was like so cool. And Ant's very susceptible to that. He's very sensitive to that. So I like to take him along because it's one of those good things. Like it gets him and it kind of brings it in. And there's a lot of people who don't believe in this stuff, man.
Oh, that just
that's
attach
real.
everything to Ant. That's not fair.
Well, because he's so great. He's so great with it, man. He's a sensitive. There are people that are sensitive.
Yes,
He's
yes.
very. If you've seen some of the work on our social media that him and I have done together, when me and my sister and him went out, when he was doing deprivation and he started crying and everything, he was in that house and
He's
then the
an
bed
empath.
broke out from and that
My
bed
wife
broke
is
out
an
from under
empath,
him.
Yes.
Broke out
It's
from under
weird.
him. The bed dropped. The whole bed dropped out. We were doing the Ma Barker house, the mafia house, the longest standoff between the FBI and the mob. We were in that house, and the whole bed blew out from underneath him, and he flew out of there. But he's going to be great for that because it's drawn to him. I embrace it in my house, so I collect a lot of haunted things. I really like demonology and stuff, and there's a lot of misconceptions about demonology and demons because certain new age religions have painted them as a bad thing, but that's not necessarily true, right? So you find out that wow, this is different. It's not all about just killing things and all the sacrificial. That there were some different things going on here. So for me, I like studying the dark stuff. So do all of us do, actually, in the Misfits of Myth. And so all of us together doing this, we're going to go out. We're going to take the crowds with us. Huck and I actually got the connections, thanks to my sister, to get into Tombstone's grave, the
awesome.
actual tombstone overnight. And we got to run a live feed in there overnight. And they were running those audio boxes. And somebody told Huck, get the fuck
spirit
out of here and
boxes?
stuff. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
and they
dude, you
told
were
Huck,
playing
get
with
out of here.
spirit
You're an
boxes on
asshole. I was like,
Tombstone?
what? It was great.
That's
It was
awesome.
great.
Unreal.
And-
I can't wait for this. I tell you what, I've never been more excited for a damn show. Like, I miss the days of like the late 90s where you could turn on the TV on a Friday night and hit the USA Up all night and watch all of the creepy shows. You got Tales from the Crypt, my number one all-time favorite show. Always will be. So like this is like my bread and butter. Like I love it. I love everything about it. I'm excited for this show.
When I was a kid, I'm from the era where we watched Tales from the Dark Side.
Thank you.
Yes.
Come on, sir. There's there's not a place not so well lit. That got me into it.
This is why I freaking dig it, Troy, because I'm not trying to be, cheeky with it, but like
But
I'm really big into ancient like Egypt and all the old spiritual worlds and all that stuff. So I come from all that. So like Baalbek, all the things that happened there. I love this because you're like
You
the
mean that
American,
all that? You mean
American
all that?
version.
You mean all that shit that's not real, and we tried to erase it so nobody knew about it? That's what you're talking about?
No, this was built like no. Shut up. No, these people
They
just
want to
don't.
erase it.
They
That
want to
never
hide it.
happened. None of that was weird. None of that. And it's like, stop, man, stop. That's what I tell people. Like, I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form,
Nope.
but I do tell people, listen, whatever your faith is, as long as you're not hurting people and using it as a pillar of hatred, I got your back, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sure.
It all leads to the same place. But erasing somebody's history and erasing old religions to me has always been an issue because we learned so much from those old religions. They were seeing the stuff they were seeing and describing was real to them.
Yes. 100%.
It wasn't made up stuff like with AI technology and we're going to indoctrinate children when they're little to make good little workers and good
Correct.
little yes mans.
No,
That wasn't
bro,
like that.
that's the
They saw
time of-
these things.
That
There
was the
were
time of
aliens.
Samaria
Yes,
and
there
everything.
were
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
aliens. They saw
There
them.
were aliens coming from, and people are like, oh, I'm like, our planet is interstellar. It doesn't matter what people believe, if it's smoke or if it's fucking fog. My dad had a great theory. He told me one time, he goes, I think Earth is just broken down, and it's so far out now and it's all been used up that they just stop through here once in a while as a pit stop like we do at a rest area, and they keep on going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, man, you know what?
Fuck
That's
this.
cool. That's
How
pretty
long
cool.
are we gonna be here in this shithole?
But listen,
You just described Rockford, Illinois.
bro, listen, I went and saw that movie Disclosure Day. That's great. If y'all haven't
dude,
seen that,
let's talk about. Oh my god, I've seen it. Let's talk about
Don't spoil. No, do
I
not
won't
talk
spoil it, but I'm
Damn
going to
it,
tell you
come on.
something.
Our fans
see
would
it, dude.
kill us. Our
Yeah,
fans
don't
would
spoil
kill
it.
us.
I'm just going to tell you guys, the dum-dums that went in there thinking it was an Independence Day or an alien killing alien movie is ridiculous. This is a psychiatric
Yes.
thinker, and it makes you understand empathy and the understanding
Yes.
of other things besides yourself. And that is one of the most amazing movies. I thought it was well put together.
I did
And in
too,
the same
dude.
sense,
thought
I
it
love
was
Masters of the
awesome.
Universe too.
I thought, listen, here's what I said, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers, okay?
Yeah, don't
But
spoil it because it's
No
good.
spoilers. It's very good, okay? And here's what I said to my wife, because I always got to like wait a few minutes when I walk out, and I'll do this little thing where I'll just like kind of giggle to myself, think about it for a second. But I remember watching the whole time, right? And number one, the camera and work is amazing because it's Spielberg, okay? The dude came out of retirement to make this movie, okay? And the thing that I picked up the most is that Spielberg is speaking to the young, literally all the young directors, telling them, sit down, son. I'm going to show you how to make a story. From the very first scene to the last word spoken in that movie, it is flawless. It is amazingly well done. And it takes you on a completely different place than you thought you were going to go. And I have to tell everybody, if you don't go see this movie in theaters, you are wasting your time. You need to go watch it. It's so good. That's all I'm
Yeah,
doing.
Have you ever seen the
he
movie
did.
Paul?
Which one?
Have you ever seen the movie Paul?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
That's a
that
funny movie, though.
I fucking love that movie.
Well,
You
think
know-
about it, because he's
Yeah.
sitting there with Spielberg telling him about E.T. Spielberg
was
is
great.
Spielberg is connected to
Troy,
something.
how many,
he doesn't come
how
out
many
of.
Spielberg references or Easter eggs did you pick up in that movie? There's
A
several.
lot.
There's a
A
bunch of them,
lot.
right?
I saw
There's a
stuff and I'm like,
bunch.
holy fuck, bro. He put that in there.
Yeah, I did too.
One of the things I really liked about that movie, and it's not a spoiler, it's just the fact that, if you're smart, you'll pick up on it. If you're not even going to catch it. You're just and just going
Go
about your
back to
day.
work and find out some more.
Yeah. When
For those folks.
he was showing the ignorance in the of humans and
Yes.
how they're so quick to jump at something and want to be part of it, and he would put that in there, and there was a scene that I can't talk about on here, and I thought to myself, what the fuck? That makes so much sense to me. And
Fucking know which one you're talking about too.
I'm like,
Damn
this
it.
is just
Okay.
like, but I'll tell you,
For the sake of a whole new world on our journey, we're not talking about it anymore. Don't spoil it.
I'm not spoiling it. It's
I
great.
even
You
got
need
the
to see it though.
bucket.
I'm
I got
just
the
telling you that.
Disclosure Day bucket right over there.
I'm telling everybody, please pay attention to everything in that thing. I think you have to watch it like 3 times to really fully see everything he did in there.
Those are the best.
And it's funny. I watched an interview with Spielberg, and he said, of anybody that deserves an experience to see something, I want it to be me, and I've never seen a single thing.
Yeah. Facts.
But he
Spielberg
gets it.
is a really smart dude too. Like,
But he gets
very
it
Smart.
100%. 100%. And there's some new stuff coming out that looks good. And like I said, the week before that, we saw Masters of the Universe, and that made my whole fucking day. That was
Dude,
just a
I
great
heard
movie.
Jared Leto is on point with Masters
That
of the
movie
Universe.
is awesome.
That
Go
facts?
see it. If you know the cartoon, I don't know how old you are, but I grew up with the cartoon. I grew up
did
with it
too.
from when it came out to the fucking all the way through. And
Is it like a legit He-Man
Yes.
Masters of the Universe? Dude's kind of small though, man.
Yeah, not when they converted him over. They kind of covered him up a lot. But I'll tell you what, man,
Oh,
it was
okay, cool.
But
he looks kinda
Jared
small.
Leto playing Skeletor was awesome because
was
you know
wondering-
he acts a lot like Johnny Depp.
Awesome.
So
See,
you're watching Skeletor and you're like, is that fucking Johnny Depp? What the fuck?
See, I was wondering because he's been getting a bad rap. Like, I feel like Jared Leto's just honestly gotten a bad rap. I mean, he's just an actor, but he keeps getting put in these roles where I think it's just maybe not right for him, and people are just kind of giving him a bad time. And I'm glad that he's actually.
He did a great job as
I'm glad that
Skeletor,
he's
my
able to
dude.
come back with this. I heard it was really good.
Bro, because you have to understand the cartoon.
Yes.
Because
It's
Skeletor
He-Man.
was kind of dopey and he just bullied everybody. Adam never knew anybody knew he was He-Man, even though everybody knew he was He-Man, right? And he was kind of a dope, like a dummy. You know what I mean? And they made him that way. And I mean,
Yeah,
but when
that's
I mean,
awesome.
it has a superhero kind of feeling to it, and it's obviously more violent. You know, they changed a couple characters as a kid, you know, because everybody's got this new way of being, you know, politically correct or whatever. So they changed up stuff. So they made a few of the characters, like Man at Arms, they made him black, which is whatever, dude.
Oh,
He
that's
played the actor's a great part, but Man at Arms was not a black dude. He was like a old white guy with a white mustache. Like
Yeah, with a white mustache. Yeah.
Right. It's like, you know, it's like, let's redo Blade and let's take, you know, Snipes out of it and make it a white dude.
Can
like,
you imagine?
Oh, man, Blade was a black character in the comic book, dude. Leave him that way.
Dude, who would be a good white guy Blade to do that PC crap? Like, who would be?
But I don't think anybody, dude. I think Blade has to stay.
I know. But if those idiots tried,
I mean,
because
they
you know
barely
these
got
people are
away with
stupid.
making John Constantine like Keanu. I mean, Constantine.
What's his name? The fat guy from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh God, what is his name?
Jonah Hill.
Jesus.
John Heder.
Jonah Hill is Daywalker.
Jonah Hill. That's actually really funny. You know, I don't know who would play that part well. Who would do a good
Nobody
Blade?
would. Nobody would.
I mean,
No, because it would be wrong.
Correct.
Who can do the martial arts though?
Nobody's going to be able to play Deadpool better than him either. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he is Deadpool.
That's what I mean. Stop ruining things, man. There's things that are left to things. Like that's like making a whole, you know, white boy version of Fat Albert. You know what I mean? Where's that going to take place? Is that going to take place in a trailer park? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Like,
hey, hang on. I am a fat. Hang on, ready? Hello. No, that's not how it goes.
dude, I just think of the characters there, but if you really think about like someone doing that, it'd be terrible, man. It's got to be Fat Albert. It's got to be, it's got to be the original creation. We can't change shit up to do stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It has nothing to do with who you are, what color you are, man. But stories are stories that you grew up with. Don't try to change them.
Correct.
I keep telling people that. You know,
like a Chinese Aladdin, dude. Would that make sense to you?
God,
it was
I will show you the world. No, you can't, bro. You can't even drive. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You have to be. You just got to fit, man. Like
you can't be Chinese and fly a magic carpet. You can't drive a car. Like, come on.
No, dude.
I think that movies are finally making a come around, though. I feel like
yes, they're changing up a little bit. You know, because you know everybody's getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not like one-sided where they're like, oh, I think, you know, if
collectively,
again, if I go back to Fat Albert and you make it a bunch of white trash people, I'm going to be pissed off.
Right.
Because I want to see the guy with the sweater hat and the eyes cut out, the big lips, and I want to see Fat Albert come bouncing down. Yep. I mean, that's what you remember. That's what's in your brain. That was the original creation, you know and then you change it.
When they started coming up with all that stuff, everyone's like, well, I mean, what's the harm, right? But then they saw the effect and they're like, yeah, we don't like this. And that's when everybody came back and said, let's leave our movies alone. Let's leave something sacred.
Yeah, let's just leave. Yeah, sacred. Just have fun. See, to me, this is what I talk about. When I go online, I do stuff. We try to be entertaining, right? We want to have a good time. There's so much bullshit out there. Make movies entertaining. We need to escape the reality of what's really going on in life, right? Taxes, overpaying to live somewhere, you know, nobody wanting to take care of veterans, nobody wanting to give health care out to elderly people, nobody wanting to help anybody, you know, and then complain about it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody really does anything. Like see, I'll give you an example. I saw this dude today on a bicycle, like a chopper bicycle, big fat tires. It's 99 degrees here today. And he's got a dog on a chain. making him run down the fucking street. Where's the justice in that? He's all cool, man. He's wrapped up. He's got his shade piece over, and he's all kicked back. I don't even have to get into what he was. And he's dragging the dog all the way down the line. I'm like, this poor dog's on this asphalt, and it's running. You can see it just panting, dripping, and it's got to run next to the bike while he's just chilling around. And I thought to myself, man, I want to run this guy over and take his dog.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, if you're a piece of shit, you can't take care of yourself. I'll say it again. If you're a piece of shit and can't take care of yourself, you don't deserve animals.
No,
Period of the story. And don't be dragging that thing around with you like that's fucked up, man.
I know, but I'm gonna give you some. There's a lot of people that legitimately sometimes can't take care of themselves, but will take care of the animals better than their own self. Them people even understand. If you can't have this dog.
Yeah, have you ever gone into one of their houses, dude? Their carpet's made out of dog shit, and they got cat shit coffee tables.
Oh.
Yeah.
They haven't brushed their teeth in fucking 20 years.
Smell
it's
the
like
ammonia.
Yeah.
It's
and rats
horrible.
dead everywhere. That's just awful. But when
Or
you're on the
someone
street,
that
man,
says, like these people that have this idea of I'll keep adopting dog after dog after dog, or it's like, stop. Why do you have 37 cats in a 1-bedroom apartment? This is not okay.
and it's illegal too. And when are we not doing anything about it? That's what I'm saying. I just feel for animals. I like animals. I think the reason I like them is because they can't defend themselves. And they're looked at as property. They're not looked at as a living entity. They're looked at as property in most states. Okay,
protect those
they're
that
looked
can't
at
protect themselves.
That's right, and they're looked at as property. So I have a problem with it. And people can say I'm an extremist or whatever they want to say. I don't care. I just don't like the fact that people do that with animals. I just don't like it.
So this past year, I actually lost. So I had 2 possums.
Okay.
That I've had in my home for probably about the past 3 years. Possums don't live very long.
Yeah, like 3 years.
Yeah, like they had decent lives. I mean, it was tough. It's tough, but I picked them up. I'm kind of the same. If I have the ability to take care of something, I'll take care of it. But we ended up with this weird situation to where we found 2 baby possums within a 2-day span. I was like, during that time in the spring. One of them showed up right outside the door of my wife's work, and then another one showed up a couple days later, I think right down the street. And we took them in, and it was the most humbling experience of my life. I will never look at a possum the same again. Every single time that I see one dead on the side of the road, it breaks my heart, and a lot of times I'll go into tears. They are the most amazing things I've ever had.
They shit all over those things, and that's the only North American marsupial. It's not even a fucking rodent, And people talk about them like, they eat all the shit you don't want, like ticks and stuff in your yard. They do that. And you'll see people out there killing them.
Smart.
Some states protect them. Some states it's illegal to pick them up and keep them. I remember a story where I was talking to an officer in a different state, and there was a guy, they called on him because he was catching possums, and he would throw them up in the air and shoot them with a shotgun.
Jesus.
Hey, no laws against that, though, buddy. You're allowed to do that. No laws. So the officer waited and went out and caught him doing it, I guess. And he got him for destruction of property and littering. He was able to nail him for a bunch of shit and was able to arrest him. But instead of for the animal, though, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's just a piece of shit animal,
That honestly
and it's
listen, you can train those.
Me aggravated.
You can train.
I've held these things. They're
amazing.
Things.
They are really cool.
Beautiful animals.
I mean, they look.
Yeah, but people hate everything. They do. That's the best part about them.
They look kind of fugly, and they're all, it's cool. The cool thing about possums is that they got these big, long ass teeth, right? And they can open their jaws like this, like huge, and it's not. They have the bite pressure of a small dog. They can barely break the skin. They can't do anything. So literally, they play possum. They give you one little, and then they're like, okay, never mind. And then that's it. You can just pick them up and be like, all right.
I was helping raise a couple little ones at one time for this lady, and they didn't like people, and we were not associating with them because we wanted to release them. So we would feed them. They wouldn't see who we were, and we'd kind of agitate them a little bit. So they did not like people because they were going to release them, which is a good thing to do if you're going to release. And I would peek through the door, and I'd see him in there eating, man. He'd be eating his shit I'd open the door, and he'd go. And he would fake die standing up. He would never even lay over. So we nicknamed him Smiley. We had him 60 days.
Smiley.
Because he would just stop. He'd go, And he would freeze, and we're like, look, Smiley froze. The other ones would lay flat, and he would just freeze where he was with his mouth open. Like, he forgot he had to lay down to play dead.
That's
So we called him Smiley. And
fantastic.
eventually, he went back out in the world. God bless him. I'm sure he's long since been gone now. This was a long time ago, but it was just cool because I just remember it would make me laugh just to watch him freeze because I'd go in there to get something out of the room, and he would just freeze with his eyes closed and his mouth open. And then you'd go crack the door and watch. Then he'd slowly come to, and he'd start eating again. Like, you can't see me. That's what I love about him. You can't help but love that.
If you've ever been around one, you can see them. They have such a weird way about them, and it's the most interesting thing because I had two of them, and they were completely different. They had completely different personalities. One of them was like kind of like a grumpy old man, and the other one just wanted to be with me. He would stay on my shoulder until he got big as shit, and then he'd be on both shoulders. But they never bit me. They're not aggressive.
No, you were perfect to him. You were not a threat.
I mean, it really makes my heart hurt, and it makes me sad. And it's like, if you've ever
love
taken,
animals.
If you've ever taken an animal into your home, it's just like Troy was saying earlier. That's why I was listening, because it's 100% true. If you've ever taken an animal into your home, and I loved what you said about, because it's the most perfect way to say it, is energy transfer. If you're honest with another living thing, and you spend time with it, there is something that happens. There is an understanding that happens there. And if you've ever done it once, you will never be the same again. And I'm never going to be the same again. You know,
it's all energy transfer, man. I don't care what you have.
Whether or not it's legal or not, they can kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that at the time. I'm in a state that's illegal. I don't give a shit to talk about it, because I knew that the only thing that was going to happen is just like he was saying. They're going to show up to your house. They're going to take it and they're going to kill it. Well, fuck you. I could give it a better life than you can, and he's only going to last for a little bit. So what we did was we just kept all the information about him offline until he was old enough. And then what are you going to do? That's all you can do, is try to give them a good home.
You know what? I'll touch your heart with one. I got one of these. So, real thing. So I used to have a part of a gentleman's club, right? And, I don't know if you know this about strippers, but usually the role of stripper boyfriend just picks them up at night. Well, I had this girl that was working, and I recognized her boyfriend all the time. He'd keep coming. And this time he pulls up outside, dead of winter. It's like negative 20 degrees. He's got a little puppy, a dachshund, in his car. Okay, it's her dog. I go, could I see, let me see the dog, because I love dogs. So I pick it up, I'm holding it. I feel this thing like it's almost like a solid rock. I go, was this dog been sleeping in the car? He goes, yes, for the last 2 nights, because the hotel wouldn't let the dog in. Negative 20 degrees. I'm like, are you serious? So I literally looked at him dead in the face. I go, hey, man, I'll go tell your girl right now, but this dog is mine now. I shit you not. Turned around, walked away with it. He gets out of the car acting pissed. Stripper boyfriends always think they're tough guys. I grabbed 2 of my security guards, and I said, if you can get this dog out of my hands, you could have it back. He stood down. I walk up to this miserable bitch. Excuse my language. She's standing
no need.
At the end of the night. I go, is this your dog? She's like, yeah. I go, it's been sleeping in the car for the past 2 nights. This dog is mine now. She goes, oh, okay, thanks. What? I wanted to backhand her so bad, but you can't.
I can't blame you. You can't.
Oh.
I mean, because that was obviously not nowadays where everything's equal.
That dog had a heartworm issue. Exactly. Heartworm issue. It's 2 of its pads were frostbite. I was so mad. We took care of it. She lived about 3 more years after that, but she had the final best 3 years of her life.
I love dachshunds. They're great little dogs.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites.
Charlie, it was great.
Dachshunds are awesome, dude.
They're my favorite little boogers. I love them. If I was ever getting another dog like that later on, I would do that.
Yep.
I have enough dogs now.
Try harder to run in my life.
You've seen the dachshunds playing with the lions.
It's awesome.
Dachshunds play with alligators.
Yeah, they would eat them.
Oh,
a little bit different there. The
that's
alligators.
That's the size. You're right. I mean, so would a lion.
Guys. Yeah, but alligators, they're not as emotional as the lions are. A little different. They'll play the alligators and crocs, man. You throw a little dog in there like that, they're like, it's time to eat.
Right.
I'm bidding you 3 goats. 3 goats.
Yeah. See ya. I'll eat them too. It's so crazy, man.
My hand is gonna be forced here, dude. Like, honest to God, like I wish that I could just like hang out and talk for the next 3 hours. I wish.
Hey, gotcha.
One thing I will say, and it's important, and that's why we're doing this whole thing, this journey that we're going on. There are so many things in the world that we simply do not understand.
Yep.
I've my whole platform is based off of the fact that ignorance exists. Everything around you is so obvious. Maybe sometimes you just need somebody to point that out. And people come along only occasionally that have this blessing in life, this niche thing that they were just born to do.
Right.
And you're one of those people. I've always believed that. And it's
Thank you.
something that people need to really take time to appreciate, to listen to, and to understand. Because number one, Troy's doing things that nobody is doing. I mean, the market that he's in is so niche that you're talking about maybe a handful of people across, the whole world that are really into what he's doing and doing it the legal way. But to have that on top of the fact that he does it without any want or need for financial gain, simply for the love of the animals themselves, because I can see when you start talking about it, man, that's going to be something that's going to get somebody's ass kicked real quick before anybody else in the room is fucking with somebody's animal or being bad to an animal.
Oh, no, that's not
That's a very
tolerated.
unique way to live your life. So it's a very noble way to look, and I really want everybody to try and, as much as you can, to share this message. Tell me one more time, Troy, because we're running out. We were running out of time like 20 minutes ago, and I'm so happy that you had
I do it all the time.
provided
We
the
run a
time.
live stream. What would you like to know, man? I'll fill you all in.
I want you to let the people know one more time about your bourbon and
Yep.
about how they can get it and about where they can go, and tell us about the society one more time.
Well, the Phoenix Herp Sanctuary is one of the
Sanctuary.
coolest places, man. And it used to be the society. They changed it recently. They took in a lot of animals, and they're diehard. Okay, they're blood, sweat, and tears. I have nothing but good things to say about them. There's no kissy here. This is just they're just really good at what they do, and they have great personalities, and they've been very good to me. And I will go out of my way to help them anytime I can. And if you see the work that they put in to keep an animal going is absolutely amazing. So when they had their 25th anniversary, we all got together. We came up with the bourbon. Something I wanted to do. They're like, well, we'll help you do it, and we did a great thing. So you want to go to the Phoenix Herb Sanctuary online, and you can go to their donation page. There's a piece on there you can click for the bourbon. You can also go to my stories, and I'm going to keep running it through the stories on my Troy T. Lillie or the Motley Croc Show on Instagram. I'm going to run those stories. You just click the link. I'm going to add the link every time. So if you want to buy one, it'll take you right to that page.
And we'll also have this information posted as well for everybody to
All
get
of our
to. I
stuff.
really want everybody to see this. Like I said earlier, you've spent your money on worse bullshit.
Thank you, Jessica.
Let's just be realistic. Like you spent.
Haven't we
$100
all? That's
on
for
worse
sure.
Shit. Like some of y'all are gonna turn this off right now and go spend $100 on some damn weed. Like you can spend
I did that
$100
before the show.
on animal conservation, and not only
I
that,
feel you
but
there.
you're spending money to get a limited edition
Thank you,
run
Heather.
on some extremely good bourbon. It sounds so, my mouth waters every time that I think about it, because 106 is gonna be, that's gonna get you right. That's gonna get you right.
It really is. It's really good. When we were doing all the sampling, testing the barrels and stuff, it was good stuff. And everybody that sampled it went with this one except one person. And they had to be a diehard because that leather one was so rough. I'm like, there's no way I could put that one to sell. That was so tough. But this one here is so smooth, and it's got that finish, that Indian sweet corn, man. It makes a difference. It's actually tastes like bourbon should taste. They did a good job with it. People
I'm
are like, oh, I don't
excited.
like
I'm
it. I don't
excited.
want it super huggy. I'm like, you're not going to get a hug. It's good.
I'm excited. I'm waiting to get my bottle, guys. We're gonna post this information everywhere. Troy, dude, it's been a real
Thank
honor,
you.
man. Like
Thank
honestly,
you.
normally I would take some time to kind of roll out of here, but I don't even think we need it tonight. I mean, I really I appreciate
Thanks,
you
Les.
taking the time to be here with us. I think it's all the information that you passed along was so important. Obviously, we want to keep in touch with you. We want to bring you back on. I want to hear what's going on with the show. We want
Sure.
to help post the show. But honestly, thank you. From the bottom of our heart, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on the Magic Carpet.
Man, thank you. It's good,
Hey,
man. I appreciate
It's been
you
a
asking.
fantastic time. It's been an
I'm
awesome
just gonna
time.
say it. If you ever want to guest on one of these cool shows, from the political world, I would love. I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it.
We're gonna scare
Come in
a
with the
politician. I'm coming.
Guys,
Then you could.
for the people that have been watching us here tonight, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate this. As I explain, pretty much every time, we don't know where we're going on this thing. That's why we call it the Magic Carpet Ride. Because it's a whole new world out there, and there's so many different parts and places that we
You
really
bet,
need to
Tanya.
explore. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we're trying to fight on this channel is ignorance in all forms. I mean, that's the base core, the foundation of what we're doing here, the core of why we did this, and the core of why we're, having people like Troy on and continuing to find a new path. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Troy, I hope that you have a good evening, my friend, and we look forward to everything else that you got.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you guys again. That was an honor. I had a great time with you. Thank you. You guys are great.
Absolutely, man. Hey, have a good night, man, and have a pleasant day tomorrow, and take care of those babies.
Always. And I appreciate you. Y'all have a great night.
You too, my friend.
Look, that was one. I'll tell you what.
Dude.
That was one for the books.
No homo.
That was one for the books. I like Troy.
No, that was awesome.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because like you look at it, it's always the same. It's always the same, and I've said this before, but like it's always like the people that are always like the nicest, the kindest, the most caring people are always the people that look terrifying.
Yes.
Like you would never like if you saw Troy sitting on a bench somewhere and there was no Motley Crue show, like there was no, like you'd be like, nah. But he's the nicest, most genuine, kindest, honest person you're ever going to meet. Just most like everybody in the group, I would say. The adults.
Here's something. I'm going to throw this out to one of the very first commenters who talked about politics. Pay attention here, folks. That example he just gave, if you see a guy like Troy sitting on the bench, don't be scared. Reach out and say hello.
Exactly. Bro, and that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. It's we're trying to fight ignorance here. I think that's really what we're doing at the end of the day. And ignorance is everywhere in all forms. It exists everywhere. And to sit and listen to Troy talk, a person that is so passionate about his animals and the things that he does, because let's face it, conservation is a selfless act.
It is.
It's selfless. He's not doing that for him. He doesn't gain anything from trying to make a better home for animals. Correct. It's a selfless thing, and it's righteous, and I dig it personally. So we're going to do everything that we can to help get the message out. But I want to remind everybody: go to Savagely Loud. Go to Clifford's profile, find a way, go to Troy's profile, find a way to donate. It's not a lot. You're going to feel good about it. And the great part about it is you're going to get a part of this limited run bourbon. Because I'm going to save mine, and I'm going to go travel. Hopefully someday I'm going to get Troy to sign it.
Bottle on the way. I got you.
I'm going to try to keep mine unopened. I'm going to try to keep mine unopened because I have a fetish about not opening things. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. For those of you that have hung out with us tonight, I really appreciate you being here. As always, I'd like to give a really big shout out to our sponsor, Official Patriot Gear. I really love everything about the company. That's why I wear Patriot Gear pretty much every day. On top of being a good company, the values behind it are good. The mission is good. And of course, the products are amazing. So I have to give a big shout out to Patriot Gear like I do every single time, along with Dubby. I like Dubby. I drink Dubby every morning because it's not as jittery as coffee. And I'm going to drink coffee all day long at work. So typically I drink the Dubby. So I really have... been telling people to go check it out. Smoother start to your day, I've noticed. It is. It's a little bit easier start to the day. So, But guys, if you've been sticking around here, I do have an announcement. And I was gonna wait for the people at the end here. Would you guys like to know who's gonna be next up on the magic carpet? Can I get a show of hands? Can I get a show of hands in the chat? Who wants to know who's going to be up on the magic carpet ride next? Because it's going to be an awesome one, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Can anybody guess? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Conservative Ant is going to be coming to the magic carpet ride. I'm so excited to have Anthony on. Like there's so many things that I've been wanting to talk about and bring to light, like on top of, who Ant is as a social media, personality, influencer, and creator. I mean, that's just one aspect of his life. He's such an amazing person and personality outside of all of this. You know, loves the 80s. I'm a huge fan
Oh yeah.
of the 80s. I love everything about the 80s. I could sit and talk about 80s nostalgia all night. And so there's so many parts of him that I want to talk about. You know, his work with the community, everything that he's done to bring Patriot gear into light. There's so many things that we need to bring to light on this show. And sometimes, like tonight, we just simply don't have time for it all. It's unfortunate. I wish we had more time.
Yeah,
We just don't. My wife's
You know,
gonna start
Anthony,
like glaring. I can feel, like I can already feel the looks. There's something, somebody's, I can feel it from somewhere. So like right back here, somewhere.
I'm with you.
Guys,
Anthony is the man.
I want to give a huge shout out to every single person that's a part of what we do. This is not an easy thing. You know, like people think it's easy. It's not. This is a very difficult thing what we're doing here. It requires the coordination, understanding of a lot of different personalities to bring this here. There are people working behind the scenes here that are not seen that deserve, you know, credit and recognition. And you know, the staff of this show, you know, they are just as important as the people on the screen. And so we want to give a big
Unbelievable.
shout out to them
Unbelievable.
and thank you for everything that they are doing. We're really trying to be something different here with this show. And it's important for everybody to understand that this is one of these things where like it doesn't, we don't put any money into, like they're like, we're not paying to make this show bigger. This show gets bigger with audience participation, with our sponsorships, with everything that we have going. But it's important for you guys to understand that we can't do this without you. We are working day and night on top of, you know, like myself, I have a 50-hour a week job to bring this show to you along with several other people. And so I want to give credit where credit is due. We want to continue to move forward. We want to continue to get better and better, but we can't do that without you. So we love everybody. We hope you all have a good night, and we will definitely see you on the next one. Have a good night, my friend.
Good night, buddy. You do very good.
Okay, buddy. I see you in the morning.
Good night,
We'll
guys.
see you guys on the next one. Peace.